Tesla stock is down in the pre-market over 2%. Down yesterday overall 7% at the closing bell. Currently sitting around $184 per share. We're getting dangerously close to long call territory.
Tesla fell around 7% today after seeing a decline in February China sales. The EV company sold just over 65,000 EVs in China last month, down almost 20% year over year and down 15% from January sales.
Is this why Tesla stock is sliding right now? Oh man, bravo. Bravo. It's not like the Shanghai factory is Tesla's main export hub and serving areas other than China. But sure, China sales did fall. That's okay, that's okay. Panic! Run for the hills! We can get this back down to 170, 175. I have no problem dropping my surplus cash into a long call for Tesla in 2026. Whew. That might be just around the time the next generation vehicle gets unveiled. And who knows what will happen in between that time.
Tesla's competed well in China, so what do they need to do now also to alleviate investor concerns? Take it to our next guest, joining us now from RBC Capital Markets. It's Global Autos analyst Tom Narayan, and also Gerber Kawasaki president and CEO Ross Gerber.
Oh man, we got two bulls here. It's not really going to be a multifaceted conversation. I love hearing the bear case about Tesla so that I could combat it naturally. I mean, with two bulls, this is going to be probably fairly optimistic.
What's wrong with Tesla stock right now?
Well, I think a lot of folks are looking at the China data and the stock selling off on the day, which happens from time to time with Tesla, right? I mean, but let's understand this is a year-over-year comp issue. They had Chinese New Year in February. They didn't have it February last year. We knew that volumes are going to be, not so robust in 2024. Elon called it out on the conference call. Really not very surprising. This is Model 3, Model Y, which is somewhat saturated. Really, investors are looking at the new affordable car that's going to come out in 2026. That's really what's going to matter for the stock. And honestly, this is more than a car company, right? It's an autonomy company, we think, and a mega pack company. So I think it's a lot of folks who are looking at a data point and maybe selling the stock on the day. A lot of retail investor activity, but
not this retail investor. Your boy is piling up more Tesla stock. Matter of fact, might buy 3 or 4 shares today. As for the saturation of the Model 3 and the Model Y, I mean, they just refreshed the Model 3. Considering that they share over 70% of the parts, there's no doubt the Model Y is close behind with a new refresh. But that's neither here nor there. The Model Y, best-selling vehicle of 2023. The refreshed Model 3 is selling like hotcakes all over the world. But all in all, Tom is a bull. He knows that Tesla's more than just a car company. It's a technology company. It's an energy company doing great things. And if you look beyond your nose, you can see that this is a buying opportunity.
It's not a car company. It's an autonomy company. It's a mega pack company. It's something more.
I think, Ross, you would agree with all of what Tom just said, as would a lot of our Tesla fans out there. But I would add now that, yeah, Tesla may be more than a car company, but they're starting to have to act like a car company, because right. if they're selling a car against, a Chinese import or a Chinese-made car in China that's $25,000, that sure looks a lot like a car company.
Such the short-sightedness, it is baffling. Every car that Tesla sells contributes to the future sales of more cars. There is no way Tesla can supply over 100 million cars per annum. Right? At least it's not in my models. I don't have them selling 100 million cars per year. I don't need insane margins. Industry-leading margins is just fine with me. Whatever they gotta do to get individuals in their cars, because they'll probably be lifetime customers. According to the S&P Mobility Survey, once they're in, they're probably in for life. The revenue stream per customer, it just boggles the mind when you're thinking about what happens in 2030, 2035.
Right, and that's exactly the problem. Is I think investors are revaluing Tesla more as a hardware company than a software company, because they are having to resort to all the levers that car companies do to increase demand, other than their still failure to fundamentally advertise, which would make sense to me.
Is Ross Gerber playing the part of contrarian? Well, I suppose he's always wanted advertising, but I mean, getting people in the cars is the goal. This isn't some $1,000 phone that you can peddle easily and sell it to teenagers. This will more than likely be one of the most expensive things people buy in their lifetime. Pulling demand levers is probably standard practice, no?
But I think the bigger issue is China's a core market that's highly competitive, and Tesla's running into lots of competition there. And although it's a software company and a tech company, we still haven't completed full self-driving, which has sort of just been nagging on me for a while now because it just needs to get completed to add value. And those are the brand levers that gave Tesla a premium. And between Elon's behavior and a lack of completion to a lot of these projects, I think Tesla's just coming down to earth to a much more reasonable valuation to where it kind of should be,
What the f***? Excuse the fact that Tesla is accomplishing something that's never been done before. Forgive the company for coming across some unforeseen barriers to the completion of the technology. It may not be on time, but until the company abandons the project, like some, I have faith that Tesla will get the job done. It's never been done before.
Tom, would you agree with the revaluation?
Look, 2024 was always going to be this period, a lull period, right? Between you had the Model 3 and Model Y. This is a tectonic situation, a multi-decade situation.
No, it's not a lull period at all. This is the Cybertruck period. That's why I disagree. We're selling Cybertrucks left and right. This should be a rally period for Tesla. Everything should be going right for Tesla, but earnings are going down. And that's the issue, is why are earnings going down when we're selling more and more cars and we have the most incredible cars on the road?
Earnings are going down because they're ramping up factories all over the world. The prices are coming down to get more people in seats for future revenue. The world macroeconomic is as intense as it's been in over a couple decades. What do you mean? Why are the earnings going down? Earnings are going down for everyone, considering we have industry-leading margins and making money hand over fist. If you look at Tesla in a vacuum and say everybody else is doing well and Tesla's doing worse, then yeah, I might agree with you. Tesla is head and shoulders above the rest of the pack. Everyone else's manufacturing process is grossly inefficient when you compare it with Tesla.
And if you listen to the earnings call, he was pretty much spelled it out, right? You have to look at this as a multi-decade thesis, right? This is a long-term play. Read the Walter Isaacson book. You'll really get a sense of how Elon thinks and what this future looks like, right? So the Model 3, Model Y, these are saturated brands largely. There's still going to be some growth. I think consensus has 14% growth in 2024. That's still significantly off the 40% growth that they did in 2023. But when you have the affordable car coming out in 2026, that's going to cost only $20,000 to make it.
What makes you think that's coming out in 2026?
I mean, that is the plan, right? The start of production.
Well, no plan has ever worked on time. We all know this. I've been in Tesla for 10 years. Okay. No plan has ever been on time.
So you've been in Tesla 10 years, so it's going to be late, but is it not going to happen? What's your experience there?
So let's say it's not 2026. Let's say it's 2027, right? Let's look at the stock from a tectonic period from 2040 and then discount the cash flows back.
Ding, 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 ding. Tell him what he's won, Johnny. Your mother right. Look at 2040 and then discount it back to now. It doesn't matter if the next generation vehicle is on time for 2026, 2027, or even 2028. When it does grace us with its presence, it's going to radically change how people look at making cars. That, coupled with the maturation of FSD and the various other projects that Tesla has going on, Tesla's enterprise value is insane.
The car business is only something like,
how
less
do you know
than 10%
Elon's
of
going to
the
be
value.
alive in 2040? I'm 53. I'm the same age as Elon. Like, when you talk multi-decades, we got to be around for this,
Apparently, it's just one man's vision. I thought this was going to be two bulls touting Tesla's long-term value being discounted by some silly data point in the news today. If Elon is abducted by aliens today, it still will not change the fact that Tesla is still going to be the most valuable company over the next decade. In conclusion, conclusion. Tesla stock is down almost 10% after dancing around $200 per share. I'll be buying more Tesla shares today, and should the stock fall much lower, your boy may pull the trigger on a long call that expires in 2026. There's a saying, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. When you have former Tesla mega bulls like Ross Gerber wavering in between whether or not they believe in Tesla's evaluation, I'd say you're getting pretty close to peak fear. Who's next? Is Kathy Wood going to abandon her thesis on Tesla? Would you be scared then? That's all I got for you today. Be easy. Peace.